Hi, this is Jerry from Blokes From Blighty, and before we get into the episode, we're going to hear from our friends at Cast a Roll. Take it away, gentlemen.
Take it away, Cast a Roll.
Hello, do you like films?
Of course you do. Who doesn't like films?
Yes, but do you ever wonder what your favourite or least favourite films would be like if you could change the cast?
Well, that's exactly what we do on the Cast a Roll podcast.
Cast a Roll is a movie comedy podcast
Where three friends with quite often very different opinions take some of cinema's best loved films
As well as some of the stinkers.
and serve you up a delicious portion of movie trivia.
before stirring in our very own cast choices, for better or quite often for worse.
So, if you're curious to know who we chose John Candy and Nathan Fillion to play in Ghostbusters,
Or what Jurassic Park would have been like with Michael Cera and Michael Caine.
Then join us for an all-you-can-eat movie buffet for your ears. It's Cast a Roll.
available everywhere you get your podcasts.
We've spared no expense.
2004.
Not 2004, unfortunately.
2005.
It's not 2005, unfortunately.
2006.
It's not 2006, unfortunately.
Well, I was annoyed by it, and you just spoke the word. Everybody loved Parfait.
Everybody loves Parfait. It's got layers. It explodes. It's amazing. Have you seen the video of the man who grabs a swan by the head and he throws it back into a river after it's attacking his wife?
No. Can we say how much we love Taylor Swift and how wonderful she is so that her fans don't dox us and murder us?
Every week they hit the mic, talking jokes, giving insight, blender smooth, like a fine wine, the blokes you gotta find. Every week they hit the mic, talking jokes, giving insight, banter smooth, like a fine wine, the blokes you gotta find. Hey. Hey. It's two blokes from Blighty. They're funny, they're witty, never mighty, spreading laughter with delight. Tim and Joy, shining stars so bright. Every week they hit the mic, talking jokes, giving insight, banter smooth, like a fine wine, the blokes you gotta find. You gotta find.
Absolutely everybody, absolutely everybody in the whole wide world. This is Tim from Two Blokes From Blighty, and I'm joined by my usual co-host, Joey Fitz.
And what the fuck was that?
That was a song that Payne keeps singing, and she's heard on TikTok.
Well, I was annoyed by it, and you just spoke the words, so I can't imagine how you feel about it.
I've never heard this song. I'm sure she's going to show me, but I've never heard it, and that's all I know of it.
Well, let's make sure that we never hear anything else from it. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm all right. What about you?
I am A-okay.
Good.
We've got our funky backgrounds on.
We do have funky backgrounds on this week for all of our viewing audience, which is none.
Yeah. Well, this is just for us.
Yeah. Should we get into pub quiz?
Let's do pub quiz question of the week. You ready?
I'm so ready. Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
So, pub quiz question of the week. I've bloody lost it. Hang on.
There
we go. Pub quiz question of the week. In what year was the euro introduced into Germany and Austria?
2004.
Not 2004, unfortunately.
2005.
Not 2005, unfortunately.
2006.
It's not 2006, unfortunately. But what we'll do is we'll come back to it at the end of the episode.
Okay, cool. That sounds good to moi.
Moi.
Tim, where would you like to go first?
I was wondering why your webcam had frozen. You're changing the background to Wumpus in a dinghy.
Yep, Wumpus on holiday.
Let's go with days of the week.
Let's do days of the week. Tim, so this episode comes out on the 1st, right?
Yeah, the 1st of May.
What day is that?
That's May Day for a start. It's
Oh,
also Payne's birthday.
Okay, don't have a jingle for that, Tim. Which one do I have a fucking jingle for?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Tim, we have a few days of the week for you. Tim's laughing because he has the problem that I don't remember if I included it in the audio last week. For some reason, our new recording software only picks up the vocals in our jingles.
I'm not even getting the vocals now, so all I just saw was you head bobbing and then just go, Wednesday.
Well, there you go. So just me dancing. Tim, so May 1st, right? May 1st. Happy?
Very happy.
Good. National Loyalty Day.
Yeah, it's important.
I'm going to save this one to the end because it's quite good. National Chocolate Parfait Day.
I don't know that I've ever had a parfait.
Tim, everybody loves parfait.
Everybody loves parfait. It's got layers.
Yeah. Silver Star, fucking hell, Silver Service Banner Day.
What is it, like catering and waitering silver service, or?
Oh no, it's sacrifices of American service members made for our country. So no, not catering.
A little different. Okay, next day.
Law Day.
Just laws.
Just law.
All right. I feel like that should be every day, but okay.
School Principals Day.
It's a little bit calorific, but okay.
National Skilled Trades Day.
Yeah, that's also very important. We had the plumber out this week.
Good. We'll come into that, I'm sure, later. National Interpreter Appreciation Day.
Also important.
And finally, my favourite, National Mother Goose Day.
That one. Don't care what the context is, that one.
Yeah, okay, National Mother Goose Day. How do you want people to celebrate?
Go out and punch the nearest goose.
Oh, Tim, I have to let me send it you while we're recording.
All right.
Because it's not anyone, for those listening, it's no one punching a goose.
Have you seen the video of the man who grabs a swan by the head and he throws it back into a river after it's attacking his wife?
No.
Yeah, he just swings it like a baton.
No, I haven't seen that. So, Tim, I'm going to send you this now. On Discord. It's been a while since we did a live reaction to something, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, here you go. Here's the tweet. I'll read the caption of the tweet. Simply says, "What an emotional roller coaster." Tim, I want you to explain to me what happens in this 40-second clip.
All right, so we're looking at a baseball game between the Los Angeles Angels and the Detroit Tigers, and a goose has flapped onto the field. It's on the diamond. It's on second base, so it looks like it's going for a run.
Mm-hmm.
Flapping. A ball boy is chasing it away.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to this with audio. Is that important?
Nah.
Okay. We just seem to be going around in a bit of a circle here.
Yeah. That's okay.
Is it going to pay off at the end, or?
It's an emotional roller coaster, Tim. You just need to watch it. It's only 40 seconds long.
What's
happening?
It's flying up and into the stands, and it hit a fucking LED screen and plummeted down to the seats. What happened? Have you seen? Oh my god! Have you seen the baseball clip of this pitcher? And he's throwing like a really fast fastball, and he just fucking nails a bird that's flying by at the time.
I have, and it just explodes.
It's amazing. Like,
not for the bird. I think that bird probably has a differing recollection.
I don't think it has a recollection, to be honest. But, no, it's just an amazing series of coincidences.
Yeah, I agree. But, Mother Goose Day, that's how you should celebrate it. Tim, we're going to move in. And actually, do you know what we haven't spoken about?
What's that?
What season are we on?
Season 5?
Episode?
10.
Meaning that this is the end of season 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
What's
are we
going
going
to be
to say?
different?
Who are we going to say goodbye to this season?
War Jeff Goldblum.
Stop saying war. You're not from Newcastle.
I just like war. I think it's really funny.
It's horrible.
War Jeffers.
It makes you sound uneducated.
Wow.
Yeah, take that, pain. Tim, here's the last time you'll ever hear Jeff Goldblum, because you'll hear a click well, you won't hear it, but the audience will hear it, and you will hear a click afterwards to know that I've deleted it.
Hi, my name is what? My name is
People always ask me how I pronounce my name, Goldblum or Goldblum. I always tell them the same thing. How dare you speak to me?
How dare you speak to him, Tim? He's gone. Tim, for the last time ever, who is Jeff Goldblum charming?
I am going to pick a Discord user of the week for this one.
Tim, that's so cheap.
Well, the only other article that I've got, and I have brought a mad shit article.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the guy pertaining to the article, so I can't pick him.
Choose him.
Do you know what? I'm going to pick the goose that flew into the LED sign.
He does need charming after
He does
that.
need some charming.
I'm going to choose...
We'll post that clip somewhere in the Discord, by the way, when this episode comes out. Someone tag us and remind us.
Remind Tim. It's more admin than I'm worth. I'm going to choose Taylor Swift's writing staff.
Oh my God.
He needs charming.
Okay, so I actually put this in the running order. I don't know if you've seen it, but someone at Kotaku put out an article saying that Taylor Swift's new album, Tortured Poets, is the Dark Souls of music.
Well, first things first, Tim. Can we say how much we love Taylor Swift and how wonderful she is so that her fans don't dox us and murder us?
I like Taylor Swift. I think Swifties are a bit fucking mental, but...
I think Taylor Swift is terrible and madly overrated.
She is overrated, but she's undeniably talented.
I don't think she is that talented. I think that there's quite a lot of people who overrate her, and she could fart down a microphone and make it a thing.
Did you know that one time her, I guess, publishing company for albums accidentally released 12 seconds of static noise, I guess, as part of production album onto iTunes, and it got to number 12 in the charts?
My point exactly. It doesn't matter what she does. People fanboy over her so much that she could literally fart in a microphone. She might as well, with this album, have farted into a microphone and it will get to number 1.
So I've not listened to anything of the album, but I had to read the headline. I got clickbaited. And the long and short of it was this guy was saying, or guy or girl, or person, I don't know who wrote it. The author.
You're all right, Tim.
Well, I was mid-burp and it sent me into a panic. So this person who has written this article has compared Taylor Swift's new album to Dark Souls by saying that its themes and its music is challenging and often brutal, intense and emotional, a lot like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I don't think that quite compares. I don't think people are asking for an easy mode on albums. I don't think Hidetaka Miyazaki is describing deep lore for Taylor Swift.
I think he should.
You reckon? We get George R.R. Martin in?
Yeah. Except for the ending won't be as he intended because someone else will reimagine it.
So I was listening to, was it Luke and Pete that talked about this recently on the Luke and Pete show?
Yeah.
But they were saying that George R.R. Martin, he hadn't finished writing A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones or whichever one it is.
Yes, someone wrote in and told them.
That was it. He gave them how it ends and the important plot points for the final bit, but then just said to the producers, the rest is up to you. And I think that's very telling.
That's very telling of a man who doesn't like his IP anymore.
No, not at all.
So, Tim, I'm giving you some real lyrics from the Tortured Poets department.
Okay.
I would like you to give them a score out of 10.
Okay, what am I rating on? Just creativity or?
What do you want to rate it on? Profoundness, or is this really a fucking lyric in a Taylor Swift album?
Well, I think that second category is a lot more fun than the first.
Okay, great. Are you ready?
Go for it.
The first one is and my friends all smell like weed or little babies.
I don't understand how that's a lyric. I'm going to give it like a 6 on the confusometer.
Okay, cool. Screaming, but daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces.
7 on the confusometer. Where are you pulling these from? Is it just someone's compiled a list of confusing Taylor Swift lyrics?
Yes, sir. The list is called lyrics from Tortured Poets Department that would get Taylor Swift laughed off an open mic stage. At dinner, you take off my middle finger. Let me restart that.
Yeah, try that again.
Edit this out, Joey. At dinner, you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on, and that's the closest I've come to my heart exploding.
What the fuck does that mean? That's rambling.
Yeah.
7 again.
Cool. They shook their heads saying, God help her. When I told him he's my man, but good Lord, didn't need to lift a finger. I can fix him. No, really, I can. Whoa, maybe I can't.
I really like that little twist at the end. So I'm going to give that like a 9.
Cool. I'm going to find there is one more, and I want to see if it's made the list. I've not heard the song. Oh, no, it is on here. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Touch me while your bros play Grand Theft Auto.
2, that's pretty regular Friday afternoon.
What, getting touched up while your bros play Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Is that what you do with your time?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's very boring in Western sometimes.
That's a genuine lyric, Tim.
It's awful. The only thing I've seen of the new album, and I've not actually listened to any of the music, but it's that girl who's just like, who looks a bit like the Joker sobbing in her car to the lyrics.
That's just Taylor Swift fans.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that meme of the 3 girls sat outside the stadium and she plays a song and one of the girls just like breaks down into tears like, this was my song?
I don't have a problem with that as such. Because like,
if you saw it, you would.
Well, I've not seen it, so it might be considerably more dramatic than it was.
Fucking mental.
But I don't have a problem with people having like songs that mean a lot to them and having an emotional reaction to it. But just Swiftie fans seem to take it to the nth degree.
Yeah, they are. They are a hardcore bunch, aren't they? Yeah. So let's move on before we get murdered over the internet. Yeah. Tim, we can go to a few places. We can not talk about Gravity because I didn't watch it.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
Well, with that can carry over to season 6.
Not watching it again.
No, you don't have to watch it again, but I should watch it before I talk about it. I have seen it before, and it was very good, but it's not been for a very long time.
I watched this in cinemas while I was at uni, and I can remember thinking to myself, I wish this was 40 minutes shorter. I will say, spoilers for the start of season 6, I suppose. I had a considerably better time this time around watching it, but we'll get to my thoughts next week.
Good. So we can either go to Gaetano or what I'm assuming is your crazy shit.
Yes, it is my crazy shit.
Let's go to crazy shit.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Woman arrested after taking corpse to sign bank loan in Brazil.
Have you seen the video?
Yes, a friend of mine sent it to me. Kind of unprompted, to be honest. He was just like, here, have this. So, of course, I had to do some digging. I imagine like she did.
Yeah.
Erica Vera... I'll just read the article. It's only a short article I've got here. Erica Vera Nunez wheeled a dead 68-year-old man into a bank where she told staff that he wished to take out a loan worth £2,600. So
the video is mad.
It's wild. Like is it the one where like it's from the teller's perspective that you've seen?
Yes.
Yeah. So a woman has been arrested in Brazil after she brought a 68-year-old man who has been dead for hours into a bank to sign for a loan. Erica Vera Nunez wheeled the corpse into a bank of a suburb of Rio de Janeiro and told an employee that the man wanted a loan for 17,000 reals, or £2,600, the security camera video showed. She held a pen to the man saying, "Uncle, are you listening? You need to sign," according to the footage. He doesn't say anything. That's just how she is, adding, saying, "If you're not okay, I'm going to take you to the hospital." Bank staff soon became suspicious as the man's head kept falling back and the police were called to arrest Nunez. She was charged with vilification of a corpse and attempting theft through fraud, according to the Rio paper Odeia. The man's cause of death is unknown. She knew he was dead. He had been for at least 2 hours, Fabio Luis Souza, an investigating officer, told breakfast news program Bom Dia Rio on Wednesday. "I have never come across a story in 22 years of being a police officer." He said the police were investigating whether Nunez was actually related to the man. Her lawyer has argued that the man died at the bank, but a police forensic analysis determined that he had died earlier while laying down.
This popped up on my TikTok, completely uncensored, which surprised me.
That is surprising, considering it's just a corpse.
There is no way on God's earth that this man died whilst at the bank. He was, and I haven't seen many, but of the ones I have seen, the most dead man I've ever seen.
He'd already looked like he wouldn't have started decomposing yet. The bodies don't decompose that quickly, but he was already quite a withered dude.
Yeah, he was, and she was calling him Uncle Paolo. So can we just assume this was Weekend at Paolo's?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It would have been better if she had like strings around his wrist and like, I'm a little puppet man. But she didn't. So
no, I've not seen Weekend at Bernie's in years. I need to rewatch it at some point.
I don't think I've ever watched it.
Good movie, really good movie.
I think because I know the premise and I've seen so many rip-offs of it that I'm probably not going to enjoy it.
If you wouldn't like the original now.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably been improved on the sitcoms.
At the risk of sounding like a massive idiot, I only found out this week that Spinal Tap aren't a real band.
Do you want me to top that?
Yeah, go on.
Do you want to hear how I am a massive idiot?
Go on.
I used to think until probably 2 years ago that Transylvania wasn't a real place.
Huh. I think that one's understandable because it's always in like these horror fiction-y trope things. Whereas Spinal Tap, I knew them from The Simpsons.
But they turn it up to 11. It was a very real moment.
I do know. So I thought that was just the band having a bit of a laugh with this documentary. I didn't realize the band itself was just comprised of American comedians taking the piss.
Have you seen the Metallica Some Kind of Monster documentary?
Yeah. I remember James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich were basically just at each other's throats the entire time.
But the documentary is a lot like Spinal Tap. Like, it reminds me so much of it. There's a bit where they're at all of their equipment, and he sees their one of the, what the fuck are they called, that the roadies bring on the big wheels. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, like a cart kind of thing.
Well, yeah, like a cart, but there's an actual name for it. And someone's spelt Metallica wrong, and they've put Metlica.
Oh, Metallica.
So myself and my friend Eric for years had a joke because Lars Ulrich turns to the camera and goes, "Yeah, Metallica." So we used to go, "Yeah, Metallica," all the time. It lived on for much longer than it should have.
Did you know that this is Spinal Tap? It's the only film on IMDb that has a rating out of 11.
That is incredible.
That's really funny. And
what
it's the only
fuck have you just sent me, Tim?
Oh, it's someone rigging up a drum kit to play it. How to rig up microphones for a drum kit.
No, that's not how you do it.
It is.
Tim has sent me a TikTok of someone playing a drum kit with a microphone.
Yeah.
And it sounds a lot like Lars Ulrich's drum kit in Saint Anger.
Saint Anger. Great album, though.
It's not a great album.
Oh, no, I really like Saint Anger.
Controversially, I actually quite like the sound of his drums in that album.
What,
Like-
they kind of trash canny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they sound really good. I think that the album itself is really poor. There is a song called Some Kind of Monster where I don't know if you've ever seen how Metallica record. They don't do it in like individual booths. They don't take the kit down. They just do it in the room that they all practice in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the rattle that's on the bottom of a snare?
Yeah.
They didn't take it off when they were recording the guitar part. So when you hear Some Kind of Monster and they do the da-na-na-na-na, every time they play a note, you can just hear that didn't come through, did it?
No, not at all.
You can just hear the rattle of a snare.
It's pretty cool.
It's
can
not
remember
cool at all.
But no, it's really interesting, like recording practices. Like when I was talking to Adam Elhager for Game Changers, he was saying that we got to talking about sound design for a little bit, and he was saying that one of his favorite productions in terms of sound design for an album is Blood Sugar Sex Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because the producer was like, I don't want to record this in a studio. Where do you guys want to record this? And Anthony Kiedis just said a haunted house as a bit of a laugh. So the producer they went and tracked down a haunted house and just spent like a couple of weeks filming and like not filming, recording in there.
I really like when you hear stories about samples and how different sounds are made on albums. Like, you know, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Have you seen the whole thing that part of the hi-hats on that aren't actually hi-hats? They are the sound of a crossing signal in Australia to let you know if you're blind that you should cross. It goes and he just pitched it up slightly.
That's interesting.
It's really cool. And I really like in the album The Spark by Enter Shikari, there's a song where they didn't like the sound of the snare, and Rob, the drummer, was practicing on a folding chair, and they went, sounds great, let's just replace the snare with a chair. So what songs is just a folded chair.
So Newton Faulkner had a bit like that in the song UFO from his album Hand Built by Robots, where he was kind of workshopping like this UFO sound that he wanted for the song UFO. And he said to one of the producers, can we get a sound that kind of goes like that? And he's like, well, why don't you just do that? And I was like, all right, yeah, that'll work. And then that was it. That was the sound.
I like it. If I find the video of the crossing sound, I'll send it to you afterwards.
There's a lot of really interesting like Foley work that goes like, because I've mentioned before my degrees in audio engineering and sound design. There's a lot of really interesting Foley work that once you kind of know how it's made, you can't unhear it. Like my favorite example that I really like to refer to people with is in a film or TV. If you ever hear like the sound of a bird's wings flapping, that is just two leather gloves being shook at a microphone. But it sounds what your brain would think a bird flapping sounds like.
I think a Foley artist would be one of the most fun jobs going.
It's very, very fun. Like what I've done of it.
I've done it before as well, but this is not going to sound that cool when I say it out loud. Have you ever been to the BBC tour in Birmingham at the Mailbox?
Yeah.
And the Archers set is so interesting.
I know someone who was on the Archers, like as a recurring cast member.
Really?
Yeah, I went to college with them.
But the way that they plan it out is incredible. Like they have a map on the wall of what the Archers, the town or whatever it is, looks like, and they have mapped out the distances in minutes and steps between each place, because there are people so dedicated to that radio show. If you took a minute to do a 5-minute journey, they'd get complaints. Yeah. And they have a corridor in there. It's one of those sound isolation corridors where if you stand at one end of it and shout at the top of your voice to someone 10 feet away, it sounds like they are like 100 feet away. It's absolutely incredible.
It's I really like sound isolation chambers. Pure, like the audio engineer in me is just like, oh, raw audio, the best. Like no room tone, no reverberations, nothing.
And just the sound of the blood pumping through your veins.
Yeah. Have you seen that one sound isolation booth? I think it's in Toronto, where apparently if you sit in it for like a couple of minutes, you can hear the blood circulating around by your ears.
There's a guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name. I'll think about it. I'll come back to it, maybe. Don't hold me to that. And he spent 3 hours in one of them, and that's the longest anyone in the world has ever spent in one because it can drive you mad.
So I'd be so interested to try one. Like, I've been in the opposite of a sound booth, not sound booth, sound isolation chamber. When I was in Pennsylvania, I got to try this experience where they basically put you and about 5 people in the back of this van that's been converted into a giant subwoofer. And so when they were playing this music, I could feel the air being vibrated out of my lungs. Like,
wow.
It was a really surreal experience. And I can remember being like, oh my God, am I actually, like, not am I going to die, but I'd be like, am I going to pass out in here?
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if people had in the past.
No, not at all.
Tim, let's take it somewhere lighter. Let's go to jokes.
Yeah, let's go to jokes. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
Tim, the joke of the week section is upon us. If you don't already know, where have you been? This is where Tim and I tell each other jokes, and the first one to laugh loses. That joke becomes the joke of the week, and we end the segment there. Clear as mud, Tim? Clear as mud?
Clear as mud. Audience, join in. Let us know where you laughed if you did.
I really enjoy when people tell us when they laughed. It's really
I do
fun.
too, because I often forget what the joke is, and then I have to go back and listen and make myself laugh again. Like the horse one from last week.
I don't remember it.
It was the one where it was like, oh, he's got a dick like a horse.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
Good one. Tim, I've got 9 jokes.
I have 10.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. What's the difference between a cat and a comma?
Don't know.
One's got paws at the end of the claws, and the other's got claws at the end of the paws.
It's quite good. I like that.
Yeah.
Why did the sad ghost use the elevator?
What is that?
To lift his spirits.
Pretty good.
It's not good. It's so bad.
I've got a weird little anecdote about elevators for after this section. Please remind me. I haven't put it in the right order. 3 mathematicians walk into a bar, and the barman says, "Do you all want a beer?" And the first one says, "I don't know." The second one says, "I don't know." And the third one says, "Yes."
I don't think I get it, Tim.
Because the question is, do you all want a beer? And only the third one can be certain. Because the other 2 have made the verdict.
They don't know.
They don't know because they don't know what the second and third one say.
But they never said that they want it as well.
But they don't know.
Don't think I like that joke, Tim.
All right, fair enough.
Tim, at the Olympics, I saw an athlete carrying a long stick, and I asked him, "Are you a pole vaulter?" And he replied, "No, I'm German, but how do you know my name is Walter?"
Very good. It's very good. What's got 2 butts and kills people?
Don't know.
An assassin.
Nice. What's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
What's that?
Easy. One will see you later, and one will see you in a while.
That's really good. That is really good.
A very old one.
Yeah. What did one lawyer say to the other lawyer?
See you in court?
Nah, we're both lawyers.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Okay. What have you got when you got too many knights?
What's that?
A surplus.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. A snake walks into a bar, and the bartender asks how.
I like it.
Yeah.
Doesn't slide around.
No.
A B flat, an E flat, and a G flat walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Sorry, I don't serve minors."
A little predictable, but I like it.
Okay.
I like it. Why did the condom fly across the room?
Go on.
It was pissed off.
Very good.
Nearly.
Very, very good. Yeah, very nearly. I dig, you dig, he dig, she digs, we dig, they dig. It's not a long poem, but it's very deep.
Very good.
Thanks.
Very good. I like that one. How much does a rainbow weigh?
Don't know.
Not much. They're pretty light.
Nice.
Cute one.
I don't think that's funny, but it did make me feel warm inside. Tim, in 3,026 years, life is either going to be really good or really bad. 50-50. No? I can't hear you.
I don't get that one.
In 3,026 years, life will be really good or really bad. 50-50. What year are we in now, Tim?
2024.
Add 3,026 to it.
Oh. I wasn't more than the mathematicians at the bar.
Oh, you might have been the first one.
Might have been the first one. Yesterday, I couldn't work out whether someone was waving at me or the person behind me. But in other news, I also lost my job as a lifeguard.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, good. I quit my job at the helium factory.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be spoken to in that tone.
Very good. It's very good. I got my last one. It turns out I have one from last week in my list.
Okay.
Someone found a hole at the nudist colony fence. Police are looking into it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a bit of an old one. I started a band called Books. That's so no one can judge our covers.
That's very clever. That is very clever.
That was it, Tim. We don't have a joke of the week.
No joke of the week this week.
No joke of the week. So,
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
So there was no joke of the week this week. Tim, can you read the one that nearly got me?
Yeah, why did the condom fly across the room?
Yeah.
Because it was pissed off.
I think that can be our joke of the week. I enjoyed that.
That's good.
Tim, tell us your anecdote about elevators.
Oh yeah. Let me. I need to send you a photo. Joey, what are some things you can't do in an elevator?
I don't know. There's loads of stuff.
All right, but like on your phone, what's something you can't do?
Masturbate profusely.
You can't make phone calls, really.
Okay.
Our elevator was out of service, or rather, the emergency thing was out of service at the elevator at our work this week.
Mm-hmm.
So their response is to call someone in a place you can't use your phone.
I use my phone in the elevator all the time.
No, ours gets no signal. I have been stuck in that elevator before, though.
Great anecdote, Tim.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
If you ever go to that elevator that Tim is specifically talking about, where you get no signal, you'll slap your knee and have a great old time.
Of a jortle. Joey, I found a really cool Japanese TV show.
Okay.
I don't know what the name of it is.
Or not?
Is it what? Sorry.
Is it one of these silly cartoons that Slade likes?
No, it's not a cartoon. Do you remember Takeshi's Castle?
I love Takeshi's Castle.
Who didn't love Takeshi's Castle? Do you know what would possibly improve Takeshi's Castle?
One of the people that lost all their teeth or broke their ribs.
There's a lot of that. But do you know what would improve Takeshi's Castle to some people?
Go on.
The addition of skateboards.
Do you know what? I'm watching the video you put in the Notion now. I did know it was skateboards. I think you sent this to me in the week.
Did I?
I saw it in the week. It's really good. It's not as bombastic as Takeshi's Castle.
No,
but it's basically a ramp, a very thin ramp that ends in a rail and a circle in the middle. But everything that isn't ramp, rail, or circle is a lake.
Yeah, and like the rail curves around, so they have to do like a 180 effectively while
It's really
riding
good.
the rail.
I like it.
I would watch a lot of Takeshi's Castle with skateboards.
I would too. That would be really good. Tim, I promised last week I'm going to read the Bricklayer's Accident Report.
Oh, you did, yeah. While you do that, I'm going to find a Gaetana review.
Okay, good. So, Tim, this was told. It was told a long time ago. When I first heard it, I thought it was quite recent. But it was told at the Oxford Union, December 4th, 1958.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, if you haven't heard the Bricklayer's Accident Report, you sit back and enjoy. Dear Sir, I'm writing in response to your request for additional information in Block 3 of the accident report form. I put poor planning as the cause of my accident, and you asked for a fuller explanation, and I trust the following details will be sufficient. I'm a bricklayer by trade. On the day of the accident, I was working alone on the roof of a new 6-story building. When I completed my work, I found I had some bricks left over, which, when weighed later, were found to weigh 240 pounds. Rather than carry the bricks down by hand, I decided to lower them in a barrel using a pulley that was attached to the side of the building on the 6th floor. Securing the rope at ground level, I went up to the roof, swung the barrel out and loaded the bricks into it. Then I went down and untied the rope, holding it tightly to ensure a slow descent of the 240 pounds of bricks. You will note on the accident report form that my weight is 135 pounds. Due to my surprise at being jerked off of the ground so suddenly, I lost my presence of mind and forgot to let go of the rope. Needless to say, I proceeded at a rapid rate up the side of the building. In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel, which was now proceeding downward at an equally impressive speed. This explains the fractured skull, minor abrasions, and the broken collarbone, as listed in Section 3 of the accident report form. Slowed only slightly, I continued my rapid ascent, not stopping until the fingers on my right hand were 2 knuckles deep into the pulley, which I mentioned in paragraph 2 of the correspondence. Fortunately, at the time, I had regained my presence of mind and was able to hold the rope in spite of the excruciating pain I was now beginning to experience. At approximately the same time, however, the bricks hit the bottom. The barrel of bricks hit the ground, and the bottom fell out of the barrel. Now devoid of the weight of the bricks, the barrel weighed approximately 50 pounds. I refer you again to my weight. As you might imagine, I began a rapid descent down the side of the building. In the vicinity of the 3rd floor, I met the barrel coming up. This accounts for the 2 fractured ankles, broken tooth, and severe lacerations of my legs and lower body. Here's when my luck began to change slightly. The encounter with the barrel seemed to slow me enough to lessen my injuries when I fell onto the pile of bricks. Fortunately, only 3 vertebrae were cracked. I'm sorry to report, however, as I lay there on the pile of bricks, in pain, unable to move, and watching the empty barrel 6 stories above me, I again lost my composure and presence of mind and let go of the rope. That is the accident report.
I have found a Gaetano review.
Okay.
It's from 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Sorry, hold on. The review was from 7 years ago.
Yes, and
Gaetano responses from
5 years later. So, if I can ask you to read Chris Nobile's response, and I'll be Gaetano.
Okay, so Chris Nobile says, server was very rude making the meals. Only myself and 2 other individuals were sitting at a table waiting for their food in the establishment. I was at the counter reading the menu since I was there for the first time. When I was asked to leave the counter, 4 people that were coming in, mind you, there was no one else in the place. It was too dark. I decided to cancel my order and never go back to this place again.
Cool. So 5 years later, Gaetano responded with, we do not, nor have we ever had table service. You were at the counter grilling us while we grilled, preventing anyone else from coming up to order. You didn't cancel your order since you refused to move. We tossed your slip in the trash and told you to beat it like Mike Jackson, you fat nerd. There's not even anything like particularly clever about that one. It's just a very blunt, you fat nerd.
Oh, he's good, isn't he?
What a gem.
Never got back to us.
Never got back to us. Shall we chase it up for season 6 or now?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, fair enough.
Tim, anything else you want to cover?
No, I think that's about it, really.
Great. Well, let's get into pub quiz questions.
Pub quiz question of the week. The answer: what was the year that the Euro was introduced into Germany and Austria?
2010.
Oh no, it's one last guess.
1999.
No, it's 2002.
Wow.
You were very, very close with your first guess.
But with none of the others.
None of the others. You got much further away.
Tim, anything you want to say to the dear listeners at the end of season 6? Season 5, fucking hell.
Season 6 will be back next week because nothing changes.
Yeah.
I want out of this hell. And other than that, take that, you bastards.
Take that, you sexy bastards. We'll see you in next week for the new season.
Bye.
Goodbye. Of a man who doesn't like his ISP anymore.
Yeah, it's very clear he doesn't like it anymore.
ISP?
IP. You're thinking of
IP.
internet service provider, whereas we want intellectual property.
Yeah, let's cut that out.
On the topic of animal deaths, do you remember that video that post that I sent you about the guy whose hamster exploded?
Yes.
I found a collection of Reddit posts called "People Who Have Owned Hamsters. What's the weirdest way they've died?" And I thought it could be interesting to read some to you and get your reaction because it seems to be they can't die normally.
Okay, cool.
Right, cool. So I'm just going to read out the comment. Want your immediate reaction, and do you know, for a bit of fun, we'll give it a score out of 10.
What am I scoring here? Horrific way that it's died, or
yeah, I suppose
hilarity?
A combination of the two, ideally.
Okay, cool.
All right. She literally ate all of her children and died choking on the last one.
7 out of 10 because they managed to get to the last one at least.
Okay, cool. Got its leg stuck in a cage while I was at school and apparently chewed its own leg off to escape and bled out.
Oh, that's awful.
That is awful.
Three.
A friend of mine washed hers and then dried it in the microwave.
That's so fucking awful. 2, because that's so cruel.
Found the hamster decapitated by the cat. She pulled him through the cage and took his head off. Found the cage first, then the head was sticking through the wires, and then the body was somewhere else.
You imagine if you were like 12 and you're like, oh, time to go home to say hi to Fluffy. And Fluffy is strewn across your bedroom. 5 for that one.
This one's very boring. It just says, I had one, then I got a second. I remember throwing the box away, turning around, and it had already died.
1.
Yeah. My coworker put his hamster in the backyard to watch it run around. A hawk grabbed it and away it went. As soon as a joke, he said that he thought it was just going for a ride but never returned.
2.
I had a hamster in my hand and it jumped away. I tried to grab it, but instead slapped it into the ground. It died writhing in pain.
Do you know what? I would have given it a 10, but then the last few words really made me feel a bit bad for laughing. So 6.
Oh, wow, that's quite a knockdown. Like the hamster. Yeah. Someone I knew from school was not super bright and had the thought the hamster was cold. So she, a 7-year-old, decided that because microwaves heat things up, she should put it in there. 30-second cycle, the hamster just exploded in the microwave. They threw the whole thing away.
That's so horrible.
It is. This one just says,
can we make a PSA? Stop putting hamsters in microwaves.
Don't put animals in microwaves.
Don't put anything in microwaves.
Don't have a microwave.
Do you have a microwave?
I don't.
Yeah, I have your old one.
You do.
Yeah.
There's one here that says, I heard a rumor that one of them died of old age.
10.
10. No, that one's a bit boring. Give me a second. You might need to cut this down a bit.
Well, more editing. Goody.
These are all kind of a bit dull now. Oh, this one's good, and we'll end up on this one. I once saw one bite into a power cable and fly several feet.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay, so you prefer that one to slapping it to the ground.
I do, yeah. There was no mentions of the pain it was in.
No, it just says sad day for the little guy at the end.
Very sad day for the little guy.